Hi, my name is Rosie Seaver, and I'm currently a library student at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. I put together this screencast for a class project on digital repositories. I decided to cover the New York Public Library's picture collection online because it's a valuable and free resource that is useful to many types of users, including researchers, artists, and educators. This screencast will provide you with a little background on the repository, show you a little bit about how the images are organized within the site, and also point out some features that are unique to the collection or are just pretty useful. The Picture Collection Online is a digitized selection of images that are part of a much larger image collection of over 1 million images housed at the Mid-Manhattan New York Public Library. Because the physical collection is used extensively, many of the older images have to be retired into a reference file due to wear and tear. This reference file contains over 200,000 images that range from the 1600s all the way to the early 1930s, and these are actually currently inaccessible to the public. The Picture Collection Online was developed as a way to reopen public access to these images. While the collection currently contains 30,000 digitized images, there are plans to eventually include the majority of images contained in the reference file. Now that I've given you a little background on the history of the collection, let's take a look at the main page. It looks pretty basic, but there is a lot of information available. As you can see along the top, there are lots of different ways to search and browse this collection. They have a featured collection here, the historic postcards of New York City, and then they also have a general guide here of some of the subjects contained within the collection. Unfortunately, these are not currently hyperlinked, but it does give you an idea of the basic subjects contained in the collection, and it can help you with your searching or browsing. Also, if you want to perform a quick search, you have that option featured here on the front page as well. Finding the images can also be done in a variety of ways. If you choose the search option, you're automatically taken to the advanced search page where you're given drop-down menus shown here that allow you to limit the fields in which your term appears. You are also able to browse the collection. So you can see along the top here you have lots of different browsing options. So you can make a choice to browse by image titles, subjects, etc. And when you make these choices, say we want to do subjects, it actually affects the drop-down menu, what appears in the drop-down menu here. So I've found that I prefer using the folder title browsing option because it's kind of, if you don't know what you're looking for, it's sort of like searching through the shelves in a library, so it kind of lets you browse through what the collection has and find information that way. So let's say that you are interested in images of, how about a mongoose, because who isn't interested in images of a mongoose? So after you've selected the Animals subcategory Mongoose folder, you're given thumbnails of the various images that exist within that folder. So when we actually go to an image, let's go ahead and pick the crab-eating mongoose. You get a detailed description of the image. So it's really interesting to see what elements are included in this, and I think there's an extra layer because in the notes category, because this image comes from a physical image and this is a digital copy, they include things like what's written on the side of the picture, additional information that we wouldn't have if this was just a digital image and did not have a physical counterpart. Also, because the project is manned by experienced and professional indexers, they're really good at what they do, and this experience shows up because there are so many relationships that are established between images. And as you can see, we have all these different subjects with hyperlinks to those related images. I would like to point out that not all the images do have the same amount of detail. Sometimes it's just not available, but more often than not, most of the information is filled in. Going back to the home screen, if you do have trouble finding images, they also provide a useful help page that has tons of tips and questions about search strategies. Any kind of questions you may have, there's a lot on this page. So now that you've seen the various ways you can browse the collection, I just wanted to point out some special features that you'll probably find useful. While you're viewing images, you'll notice that there is an Add to My Gallery option down here on the bottom. This functions as a way to temporarily bookmark images that you're interested in viewing again. But be warned, this is not a permanent bookmark. The images will go away once your browsing session ends, but this can be a helpful feature if you want to mark an image for review without having to use multiple windows. If you happen to find an image you're really interested in, one of the cool features of this collection is that you're able to order a digital copy or a print of any of the images within the collection. Many of these images are unique, so the ability to obtain a detailed print is a pretty neat one. This screencast was meant to give you a brief introduction to the history of the New York Public Library Picture Collection online. I also demonstrated how some of the images are organized within the collection and highlighted some special features. I do hope you found this screencast interesting, but more importantly, I hope you take the time to browse the picture collection online for yourself because it truly is a valuable resource.